everybody, and welcome to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, and I am joined by my co-casters, Triple Nipple and Sleepy with 2 3's. How are we today, gentlemen?
Doing good as ever. Working from home.
Oh yeah, that's our specialty, right, Sleepy?
Oh yeah, definitely a specialty of mine over these past few months. But having another person around during the week and all weekend, it starts to get a little cramped up. So happy to be here doing this cast with you guys. I haven't been able to get many, if any at all, this week, so I figured I'd hop on one here at the tail end. And I don't think it could have been a better one. We got Water, who's the new kids on the block coming up like a rocket ship, realistically, in the Season 9 struggle that they're currently fighting through. And then you've, of course, got Globochem, who remains kind of the top dog in the NA, even though they've definitely got some challengers coming out from the likes of G-Men, Blaze, and SMC playing very solid this season as well. So very excited to see this game, see how Water matches up against the top dogs of the NA and how that works out for them this evening.
Yeah, we are currently hashing out some logistics, so we'll get you to the pick bans soon enough, but yeah, this is going to be a very interesting battle. This is really the first time that Water is getting tested, in my opinion. They've gone up against some teams that we have known historically to be very skilled in the VRML, Danglers and Animal House, and then even beating 5 Horsemen in very dominating fashion. But those teams also have had shifts in their roster. They've been playing a little bit differently, some would say, than they have in previous seasons. And I think this is honestly one of the news teams coming up and sort of showing that, hey, we got new strats. We've been innovating. we can push our way up into the top. And now they're getting tested up against the best team, one of the best teams in the VRML, definitely the best NA team right now in the VRML. This is going to be a tall order. Rip, what do you think we can expect in terms of just gameplay style today?
Well, I've been seeing Water play pretty aggressively. They like to push up. They like to use that shield, 1 or 2 shields, and I don't know if that's going to work out for them. Globo has also been running shields. I know that Mike and Thunder have both been putting in time with the shields, and they're pretty scary with them as well. We've scrimmed them a couple times, and hard to deal with on both sides. We've scrimmed both these teams, actually, and both of them put up a pretty decent fight. So I think it's pretty even. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, honestly. I don't think that, unless Globo's been watching game tape, I don't think that they've got enough experience with them.
There's not a lot of game tape to watch, too, so it's curious, what exactly they're going to do up against this Water squad. If we're going to see an aggressive Globochem or a tapered one that you'll sometimes see up against beginners. We're still waiting on all the info for this match, surprisingly enough. Hopefully we can get that to you soon. So I apologize as we wait for the action, but I think we do actually have our bans, at least. Still waiting to get into the lobby so we can give you the active roster, but we do have bans from Water. It does look like they banned Downfall, and Globo banned Subway. Sleepy, thoughts on those bans?
Sorry, I was still trying to get us a password so we can get these good folks.
Downfall and Subway.
In the lobby. Downfall and Subway are banned, yes. Water banning Downfall, probably pretty smart. Globochem's game on Downfall is different than it used to be. I won't say that it's worse per se, because I can't really say that with definitive data, but I can say that's probably a smart ban, and either they're banning to a Globo strength or even banning to their own weakness, but either way, if it means that they're getting a better edge, then that means it's a good ban for them, right? And then Globochem banning Subway, not too sure what that's about. Maybe it's because they're not as practiced on it, or they think that Water is sneaky on it and they know how to get around their processes. So it's really hard to tell, but it looks to be like pretty sensible bans all around, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it looks like we do have map number 1. We're going to start out with Tanker, which looks like it's a Water pick. Water is the home team in this matchup.
Yeah, that's curious. I think Globochem's honestly been looking pretty good on tanker. They seem to have decent defensive strategies. Their offense is pretty aggressive. They're usually pushing 3-4 minutes with left on the clock. And you know, for Water to pick into this one, they got to be feeling confident on their own plays here, because you know, there is room for innovation, because it is sort of a new map that's surging a lot this season. You know, there's not a lot of defined meta strats for some of these objectives still. And so you do see a lot of like new strats. We just saw in the beginners Globochem match, beginners playing aggressive defense, and that paid off for them. So there is some new sort of strats that are being devised by old and new teams alike. This is going to be a great sort of kickoff to this series. We're going to see exactly how coordinated Water is. And you know, if Globochem's ready to answer to that sort of coordination.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of aggression coming out from both teams. You know, neither team wants to just sit back and give up.
Does look like we are going to dive into the action. Water versus Globochem. Round 1, map 1 begins now.
And just a few more seconds until our players are out of their spawn box. It looks like Water's going to be coming out strong here right away. They're going to be charging down. Just one going downstairs, and on Assassin going to be the one heading down for Water. The remaining members will go ahead and stay up on the top deck for the moment.
Yeah, Kija and Lich King pushing up on the south side. Kija with that shield. Lich King, his shooter, checking the downstairs, making sure no one's coming up behind his shield player. Kija still pushing up very aggressively. Mike Crook is downstairs, though. Thunder calls out the shield. And a C4 is spotted out by Kija on the ground here in front of the smokestack. I think that's not a smokestack. What's a crane? That's a crane. I've always called it a smokestack.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think those things hanging off of it, you know, burn coal or produce smoke of any kind. But, you know, it's cool. Zucchini Zhang over here is doing a bit of a salsa dance, and Otto is just down in the distance, kind of looking, waiting for the angle. I'm not sure if he's actually been able to see Zucchini in this, but he's definitely going to be watching that lane as per usual. Sorry, I set myself a little alarm there that failed me.
True to your name, you got to stay awake, Sleepy, so it's understandable.
Yeah, but nothing to come yet. Otto not taking any shots. I don't know if he's just looking on a purely informational purpose at this time. Zucchini going to be putting some shots down range, but I think that's going to be mostly due to the fact that Izzy popped his head around the corner there to take a look on the backside.
And Kija did disable that C4 on the south side, so he has nothing between him and Thunder Pilot to deal with other than Thunder Pilot himself. Doesn't look like Globo's peeking at all, really. I mean, Thunder even took back into a more, you know, defensive position. He's hiding in a corner behind a door, completely protected, and he can't be seen. Normally, you know, people stick out in those windows and, you know, taunt, but he's hiding, and if he stays there, we won't know where he went, honestly.
Hey, Zuck, hey, Zuck, I'm gonna
Ooh, and Mike Crook, gonna grab one on the backside as he sits down in the stairwell in the back. He'll be saving Globochem's backside from the sneak attack downstairs.
And the smokes start rolling in. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Let's see if they land well. One way up high, not going to be good. No one covering the right. Mixologist there with his angle.
The left side is getting a push here. You've got the Lich King and Kija now pressing. Thunder Pilot's going to put pressure on the doorway. But here comes Kija on the backside. He's going to find Thunder. Now he's in the outside.
He's capping. Keeps capping.
He's sure is, but it's not going to stop Globochem. Izzy will come around the corner after a massive amount of kills from the Globochem team, just circling off during that cap, and Globochem will manage to secure the round win by the skin of their teeth. NightFiree, give us the breakdown of this last round.
Yeah, we had eyes on the cap there for a while because it was definitely looking like they were trying to sneak that shield cap in up against the objective side, and it got awfully close, but not quite enough. All the while, you know, Globochem just working through that water push. The smokes denied vision early, but as soon as they got into those close quarters and it came down to the actual combat, Globochem just ran away with those kills. 3 left alive at the end. They still had a Molotov prepped that they were getting ready to toss. And, I mean, a solid defensive round for Globochem, but also, you know, a decent strat there for Water. Good pushing. They had the right smokes. They knew what vision they had to deny. And, I mean, that's as close to a cap on Globochem as you'll ever get. So it's certainly a good strat that almost paid off.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that analysis there, NightFiree, or Trip, I guess I should say. You know, NightFire's right. The smoke placement in some places was great. On the left side, it did allow them to push up, as NightFire said initially. But again, like you mentioned, once they got inside, other than Kija's backside kill onto Thunder Pilot there with the shield as he goes for the cap, they were ultimately unprepared for the positions of Globochem inside.
Yeah, and I think that all those smokes came out. They covered the south side approach really well, and they couldn't figure out where that was coming from. But on the north side, it didn't cover the window, and he was able to call out those players rotating in. So it wasn't like they were surprised.
Back into the action, round number 2. This intense matchup, Water going on the defensive. We'll see how they square off against Globochem.
It's like Globo's going to send 3 downstairs north, 1 downstairs south, and 1 across the top. Mixologist the only one up on the deck. Assuming that means that Mike has a shield. Yes, he does. Downstairs, he's coming up with the shield. Izzy right behind him. Thunder Pilot behind them. Thunder and Otto, the brothers Globochem, both downstairs as well. I feel like it's a super risky approach, though. Coming up the stairs is kind of a death trap.
You're talking about the stairs on the backside?
Yes, the backside, superstructure stairs.
Oh yeah, those are. I mean, while they provide you a different avenue, if it's coordinated well with a couple of side attacks at the same time, where you kind of come in all together, it's good to have, right? Like it's good to have in your back pocket to be able to pop up from the backside and say surprise. But at the same time, yeah, it's kind of like the stairs in Subway. You're really kind of screwed if they know that you're coming or know that you're there, because I mean it's basically a hallway, except they get the high ground, Anakin, so, you know, they've got the advantage.
Yeah, one good C4 placement, you know, you have to clear the stairs enough to be able to look over the top or something. Once you see it, you can't stop the C4. I mean, at that point, if they're doing well with it, if they know what they're doing with C4, you're dead. Smoke's coming out from Globochem now. Thunder throws 2. Gets some good coverage. They land pretty well, actually. More smokes coming out. I'm counting 5, 6 smokes now.
It's been a lot. I don't know the exact number there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think 5, 6 is a good call. But now comes the push. Mixologist and team. You've got Mike Crook, Thunder, and Izzy pushing across on the right side. Otto coming up point in the middle. Now they're approaching the key moment here. We're at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Shot's going to ring off. Zucchini Zhang. No, the Lich King going to be taking the first shots there. But Thunder Pilot going to accidentally shoot Otto. In the confusion, will Sell My P will be able to pick up Mixologist and Thunder. Pick up the Lich King Kiga now with Mike Crook. Izzy goes for Kija.
Thunder shoots Izzy. Thunder has been team killing. Thunder finds Will.
Well, it's a good thing he's clutching this round solo then, because, yeah, that is 2 team kills for Thunder on the round, and that is kind of surprising as not only just a member of Globochem, but also for Thunder Pilot, is usually, you know, a more thoughtful player. Now the auto one I might could have seen because of the smoke. Zucchini Zhang gonna pick up Thunder there at the end and close things off. Water will win their Volk round and continue on. But what I was thinking was, I don't know. You know what? I don't even know. Let's
Yeah, that
Let's
was
ask our third what he thinks.
that was a chaotic. Guys, I'm here. That was a chaotic entry, and you know, they smoked out. And that's where Thunder kind of lost them. I'm not sure why. You know, they had the smokes. They had their lines set up. They knew that they were going to push forward and go in through their own separate entry points. But then once Keija kind of threw a little wrench in the plan at the doorway, Thunder just kind of panicked. He killed Keija, and then there was more chaos down. I mean, basically, Water just waited patiently for Globochem to push in through each door, and they tucked in and honestly saved shots. I think 2 guys got through this main door before they went down. You know, it was just a very patient defense. Even under the pressure of smokes, they didn't crumble and try and over-rotate. And honestly, gets them a defensive round. Thunder did do a lot of work for Water there. Finding the, I think he killed one that had a shield. Yeah, seriously. But, you know, still a solid defensive strat there. Good reaction from Water to kind of cause that chaos.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. I think I would agree, Trip, for the most part.
Game's night.
I was telling Trip that I agree with Knight's analysis, is what I was saying.
I agree with our third wheel as well.
I didn't know a training wheel talked so much.
First time for these guys as we hop into round number 3. Map 1.
And now he's taking our duties on the round callouts and everything. What have we even left with, Trip? What is our life? What have our lives become here in these dark days?
You know what? I just don't know what's happening here. Do you see this pile of smokes? That's just, they threw all their smokes and then ran away. Yeah, I think they're all gonna go downstairs. I think they're gonna have Zucchini just start lobbing smoke after smoke after smoke. But they're gonna meet Mike and Otto are downstairs. We gotta go down there.
We gotta go!
Keija running out with the shield, running right into Mike. Adon finds Mike. Otto on the backside finds 1, finds 2.
He shut down the shield. That's going to be a key part here. Now we've got Willcell and the Lich King now trying to make their way through. Lich King does make it by crouching, and he's been able to revive Keija.
Otto rotates away. Keija now chasing with the shield, wants to get that kill. Otto rotating all the way back towards objective. A very aggressive defensive push from Globochem that paid off pretty well. Definitely stopped the approach.
It's pretty much put the emergency brakes on that car. They've had to completely reassess what they're doing, where they are. Keija looking to get his way down the hallway. He's stopping only very little. I'm pretty sure I heard when he was revived that a scream or something. It sounded like, I don't know. He sounded very angry at the fact that he was down, like he was as he was chasing after Otto. Maybe I was just mishearing audio on my side, but man, I was like, goodness, he was upset that Otto caught him on the backside. But a little pause here as he's come to a stop for some reason or another, but now back to it and is ready to go, it seems.
Looked like a headset reset to me. Something happened with some hardware there.
Yeah, his face definitely hit the floor really fast when it happened initially. So
behind his
I saw it from the upper deck. I saw the body model and I was like, did he just die? Like in real life, he just hit the ground. Izzy now here watching the stairs, gonna have to deal with a shield.
Oh, he hears it too. Keija though gonna come out on top there in that exchange. I think Globochem's best bet here is to actually let the shield kind of have the stairs for a moment. Ooh, here comes Thunder with the C4. Will it be enough? No, he's going to have waited too long, I think. Nope. It's going to be just long enough, but I think it will completely deter Keija and the Lich King. They're going to turn tail and run back the other way. Thunder's move of throwing down the C4 there on the steps was a good call. It does push them off, but now, how are they going to be able to reassess and reattack again?
Here comes the volley of smokes from Zucchini. It's just going to start lobbing those in as hard as he can. Otto throws one off of the deck. No smokes on objective. Kija, danger close to objective on the south side. Pushing up. Fighting with Thunder. Those pistol shots are so fast. Otto finds Will. Zucchini shoots himself in the head. Otto finds Lichting. Kija's pushing up on the objective now. Kija's got his tablet out. He's trying to cap. Otto's reloading. Wow. Kija cannot get those caps in fast enough. That's the second try.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does not seem capping is a water strength at this time. It's the second time they've been on the objective, and Globochem just been there to shut it down.
Yeah, they're certainly trying to, get that little edge on Globochem. And it's justified, right? If they've managed to get Kija into some very good spots 2 times in a row now where he's just under the nose of Globochem, it's not quite there. They're just not finding enough picks and enough distraction around the remaining defenders. But their plays are so close to being successful. If they had gotten more smokes into that objective side that were better positioned where Otto couldn't redirect them, it would have been a completely different story. With that whole area covered in smoke, you might have seen some potential team killing. A little less coverage around that corner. Who knows what could have happened if those smokes had just gone a bit further. But, their play certainly did get them to a position where it could have been 3-1 water right now.
Do you think that more early round picks is the answer? Because as you sit there and described that, I thought to myself, it seems that they're lacking the early round picks because the numbers are still seemingly on Globochem's side. Like, they're going in for their final attack, and in a lot of these cases, Globochem has still got all of their defenders still up. And so by the time all the exchanges are over, even though Key just made it to the objective both times that Waters made it has been on Marsoc, Globo has always been there to shut it down. Do you think that those more early round picks are something that Waters should maybe look to try and get in order to improve their game?
I don't know if that's... Yeah, it definitely, obviously, would lend towards assisting them in their pushes. It feels like a lot of their strats are kind of akin to... They're similar to Globochem's style, really. It's a bit of a copy, if you will. They're trying to full push as a squad right around the 3-minute mark, the 2-minute mark. And it's all very timed, so it seems, right? Even though they did kind of branch off at the beginning of that last round when they were disrupted early, they still did come together, and the smokes came out at a certain time. Push came in through the center at a certain time. It's almost all synced up, which has gotten them close to getting some caps, but it just hasn't quite been there. So I just think they just need to get their coordination buttoned up a little bit. We might see them take the lead as we hop into round number 4.
And here we go. We're off into round 4, as NightFiree said. 6 minutes left to see if Globochem will be able to pull it off and get a cap themselves here on this objective. It looks like they'll run a 3-2 split with one upstairs on either side. No forward aggression, not pressing immensely hard to go straight at them. Making sure they take their time to check corners and pathways downstairs. And Water seems like they're setting their positions here. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of roamers on this defense. So we'll see what the next 5.5 minutes have to bring us.
Yeah, I would like to say Water definitely sounds like they have some pretty planned strategies out for this objective. They were calling out plays, flex positions, everything. So they're not just going in hot. They're definitely thinking this all through. Kija's on objective, should see the shield here. Called him out.
By name.
Yeah. Misses the shots onto Izzy, though.
Just 2. Rifleman and
Yeah, a bit of a late reaction for a shot angle so small If you basically don't start pulling the trigger as they break that corner, you're probably not going to nail those shots, to be honest.
Mix finds Zucchini.
That'll be a huge help to the guys on that right side there with Mike, Crook, Izzy, and Mix. That's going to help open that up. It looks like Keej is going to flex over to that position now since they've been down. The Lich King's getting a little antsy over there, though, on the other side of the deck. It could be his demise if he's not careful.
Keija getting a little antsy here on the side. Lich King finds one. Keija finds a second. The shield is shut down.
And here we go. Looks like Water's actually getting aggressive. Mixologist will find Lich King, but here comes Keija on the refrag push. Mix will manage to get the confirm, but Keija does get the intense refrag as well. And here comes Thunder. Now he's rushing Keija. Keija's got his trusty shield again, and he will be able to come out with it.
Keija knifes him.
I was watching that, wondering what he was doing, and it looked like he fumbled with his gun for a second there, but he was going knife from the start. He waited for that push to pull that knife out.
Yeah, he wanted to push that shield into Thunder's gun so it couldn't fire and then knife him. Otto now coming up. Will checking the window. Doesn't catch him. Otto comes up firing, though. Otto rotates. He's going to find Will. No, he's not. He's going to go back for the shield. He finds Keija.
Oh, he shut down Keija on the turn and burn. He baited him around the corner, came back, and managed to put up the shots. Now he's going to find Will Sell, and he's gone back downstairs to avoid getting taken down by Andon, who's the remaining member of Water left here. As we come down just past the 3-minute mark left in the round, it's a 1v1 here for Globo and Water, as Globo looks to be the first team who could possibly get a Marsoc win here with the current numbers.
Yeah, Adon definitely getting a little, jumpy. He's rotating all the way around the objective. Otto just barely missing the cross. Adon has his back to the objective.
Oh,
or
goodness.
To Otto, sorry, not to the objective.
I think he's still expecting him from the backside, and there he goes. He's broken cover. He's out in the open, and Otto's going to see it. He takes down Adon, and that's it. Globochem are going to grab their one Marsoc round that they need. They're going back to defense for the map, possibly the map decider, and going on to defense. I mean, I don't know what to say. NightFiree, how do you feel about how that round resolved, seeing as how it came out initially? I thought that after Keija grabbed that shield and then got the knife kill onto Thunder, that it was pretty much over for Globochem.
Yeah, they Otto. That's what happens when you overestimate what's gonna if you have a round secure. I think Keija felt really good after getting that knife. They had the kill count pretty secure. They knew there was only one left, so they were in that 1v3 scenario. You saw Keija really apply a lot of pressure without his shield out, so he was feeling confident that he'd be able to peek that corner and find shots. But he just wasn't ready for Otto to quick peek the corner, tagged him up right in the chest, then he turns around, finds the double, and then that sort of reset really, was the right move to do. And it's funny because he resets, goes all the way back up the stairs in the middle of the map, and then goes right back to where he was in that same corner and finds himself another kill. So, just sort of throw off the enemy like that, a really smart move by Otto. Doesn't stay in one position after finding a kill, keeps moving around to throw off the enemy. And yeah, I mean, that's a clutch play right there if I've ever seen it.
Well, we'll see. Keija's shield play has been kind of a crux to Globochem, almost causing them to lose twice now to a cap in their own Marsoc round. So being that this next objective is downstairs in the cargo bay, could be bad for Globochem. This could be where Water is able to tie it back up with a nice cap here if Keija is able to get those numbers under his fingers this time around, because he's 2 for 2 at getting to the objective, but he's 0 for 2 at capping it. So let's see if on a third attempt he is able to secure a cap for Water here in round 5.
Water pushing in now, sending one south downstairs, 3 south, or 3 down north stairs, 1 up top. Zucchini right above the objective. Otto upstairs as well. Finds Zucchini.
Keecher's reaction. He died.
Is that how loud I am when I play? Because I can hear Keija all the way like the other side of the objective.
Yes. No, you're
Oh
loud.
my gosh.
Some would say
Izzy
louder.
finds Adon. Mix finds Will.
Still. Now it's Keija. He's on the corner. He's in the mid break hallway. Thunder and Lich King will now trade. Thunder with the full confirmation. Keija gonna finish that off as he runs by down the hallway. Now he's coming around on the back flank corner, and Globochem with the C4 get the kill onto Keija and his shield. They take the first map, and Globochem shows just exactly why they're at the top of the North American and the worldwide rankings at the moment.
Yeah, taking away the map pick from Water there in pretty dominant fashion might be a bit of a wake-up call to the Water squad, just what they're facing up against. Otto there, 11-1. And you know, you talk about different sort of game styles, different team strats, different ways to play this game, and I think one of them that I like to highlight as of late is really the solo player, the standout player, one that is above and beyond maybe the skill set of other people even on the team. And I think we have this on both squads, right? And I think it's the success, honestly, as why this has so much success. Water has Keija. Keija's a very good standout shield player. He usually does top the charts on that Water team, and they play around a really skilled shield player. It's a great way to go about it. And on the converse side of Globochem, you have Otto and Thunder and Mix. So you kind of have a triple threat, really, where any one of those guys could pop off at any one of these rounds and be that standout player you need to carry your team. But I think relying on one guy to find the kills and having a supporting cast is a strat that really works well at the top level of Onward.
I don't know. I don't feel like Globo plays around one player.
They don't, but it does tend to work that way. They have a couple of guys they usually have one guy that's got double digits. Maybe not usually, but it happens more often than it does on any other squad. You'll see Mix maybe sometimes. That's why I say Mix, Otto, and Thunder. To your point, that's a group. That's not just one person playing well. But you know, it's usually one of them that's really that's standing out in rounds. Sometimes you get that even spread, which is what you usually like, what you want to see. But I want to see that more of as a strategy, just kind of leaning on one very skilled player and building a team that supports them.
Yeah, but then what do you do when that one skilled player goes down? What
What you saw several rounds there with Water. When Keija died or wasn't effective, the rest of his team was going down. That last round, we were on board Keija for a good portion of that push. He wasn't being a good distraction. He wasn't drawing enough attention. He was allowing the rest of Globochem to just kill his entire team while he sort of worked his way up through the shield. And so it has its downsides, absolutely. You know, if that one player doesn't succeed, then your team as a whole doesn't succeed.
Yeah, see, for me, I would rather have a solid team that can just build up all around.
Sure.
I mean, not that your strategy doesn't build up the remaining members of the team, right? Like building a support team around a superstar player or a point man player, is not a bad idea per se. But I would prefer to look at it as making sure the entire team is up to par and is on pace with one another. You know, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So even if Keija is a superstar god of shield play and is able to get to the objective every time, and it gets a cap, 2 out of 10, 3, 4 out of 10 times, right? That's not what I would want. I mean, that's as someone else, like, I don't want to be that support player if that's the case, like, because then all the focus is going to be on that quote-unquote superstar, and that's not really how I feel you build the best team dynamics. I think Globochem has come at it with probably the best strategy and trying to share that balance across the entirety of their roster. They just look for the prime rib beef targets, when they come up as free agents on the market, and they scoop them up as quickly as they can.
Globochem going to spawn in the southeast, pushing towards that north wing objective, roof courtyard objective, whatever you want to call it. Whatever your team's callouts are, DM me so I can learn them all. Yeah.
DM him, but don't add him.
Don't at me. Globo not pushing that south approach. They really don't want to give away their position early because it is kind of a hard spawn to get out of. Once you give it away, because of where the defenders spawn, they can go all the way around the north side and just rope you in. So they've opted to stay back. I mean, we've got one Mike with the sniper. I forgot that they have the sniper. We didn't see any sniping on Tanker, obviously. But Mike is a deadly sniper.
Sniper, no sniping.
And it looks like they're just waiting to get this cross on the south street. Izzy, Thunder, and Otto just standing there. The smokes do come out. Now the cross is going to happen. They crossed just fine. It doesn't even look like there's anyone south of the streets to see them. Take a look at the overhead. The defenders are pretty well around the objective. The only one that's very far off is the northwest corner, watching that northern cross. But I don't know if I'd stay there once those smokes happen. I feel like I would have rotated maybe over towards the semi or even around the north side of the map, trying to get that pinch. But I guess, you know, they can't cap from there, so you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. So they're slowly walking their smokes across the street there in the northeast, but they're not really taking much action. No fire from it, really, from the water team, which is interesting. I'm wondering, is it because they're lacking coverage? They can't see because of the smokes and how Globochem managed to use them to cross, or if they're also just not trying to quite give away their own positions. And sounds like Mike's getting into it.
Pretty sure there's one.
Yeah, Mike putting shots and calling out burning center stairwell.
A few more shots to pressure him as Mix decides to push up just a bit.
The north defense is a pretty strong setup. They've got Adon on the roof corner, Kija at the white car, and then Lich King in the northwest two-story wireframe building, which gives you pretty good coverage.
Yep, seems to give you a lot more coverage on that north side approach, which they're going to need for Globochem as they come up 3 deep here in the north. Izzy, Otto, and Thunder, brothers Globo. But no contact yet. Nothing. No one's seen anyone, though Izzy is getting dangerously close to being spotted out here by the Lich King.
We're at 2:40 left on the clock. Globo using a lot of time to get around the map.
Well, with this one, I think, you know, on this spawn trip, you just got to play it safe, and with safety comes time, unfortunately, you know, making sure all the angles and making sure you get out of that southeastern spawn curse that is that spawn, and make sure that you even get out of there. Otto now going to toss a flash. Here comes the start of a push here from Globochem on the north. Otto's going to be seen. The Lich King going to take shots at and find a headshot onto Izzy. Otto will take shots as well, but he manages to get down in time. I don't know. I don't think he's going to. Yeah, he doesn't. Kija pops up and finds a headshot onto Otto.
Mike finds Kija from the South Hills, though. As soon as those shots ring out, I saw that laser just pan right to his head.
Might be resable.
Underpilot in the tank courtyard, trying to push up towards Burning Center. Mike on the wing and Mix at the ambulance still.
Thunder's actually found a hole in the defense right here. If he goes right to the wall and walks right along the wall, he can get right up to the objective and cap and nobody sees him.
That is true.
Hell, he could go on the north side of the wall and stay safe from the defender sitting in the western garage area, and be even safer as he caps it, because now it looks like the Lich King is rotated farther back into the western towers there in the Volk side, and it's going to be very difficult. Thunder, oh man, if they just knew what we knew sometimes, Trip, it can make for some really great gameplay, but it's also nice to see us predict something and then the teams figure it out on their own. Thunderpilot, and it looks like Globochem wanting to make sure that Zucchini here is cleared out of this center hotel, and here comes Thunder inside. He does find the kill.
Some beautiful teamwork right there. Thunder rushed up, Mix held that angle, started putting shots on him when he saw him, which confused and Thunder just ran in and shot him. Now Will rotating around on the courtyard. Mix barely missing him. Mike putting the shots onto him, not catching him. It looks like a couple connected, but not enough to kill Mix. Now rotating for that kill. Doesn't find it. Adon and Will find Mix. Thunder's now going for the roof courtyard. He's on the wall. If he can just make this cross, he can get the cap. But no, he goes down to the Lich King from Volk Twins. Now it's all to Mike Crook in the
Western
Volk courtyard.
Dang, that M39 hammering off shots hard. He finds one, but he's unable to find the Lich King as they shut down Globochem on the first round.
Solid defensive round from Water right there. Did a great job of holding even in the moments of panic, and it felt like their defense was weak when that push started to unfold, but in reality it didn't. It actually was pretty strong. They had a nice coverage there. They had one up on North Plane Wing still that could peek occasionally out into that courtyard, and then it's just some good rotations out of those guys to make sure that they were still covering objective wall, because yeah, there was a good chunk of time there where Thunder could have easily slipped through the defense, gotten right up to objective and capped it, but it, didn't push through and decided to take his time. It's kind of odd because for the most part, Globochem's been pushing at that 3-minute mark. And I think if you can shut down the Globochem push early, they seem to have a little bit more, they seem to have a tougher time sort of bouncing back. We did see Otto, of course, come back from a 3v1 at the end of Tanker, but I think that's the sort of the way that they're going to have to counteract this Globochem aggression is catch them off early and then tuck in.
Should they catch him outside?
How about that?
How about no?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a strong push. I think, the initial attempt that Thunder was going for, which was to push out from the center, burning after they took down Zucchini towards the fuselage and go for the cap that way. I was thinking to myself, like, what is he thinking? He's like walking through the most open part of that cross on that side, and there were two defenders over there at that point as well. But it didn't end up working that way. He just ended up rotating back, but it didn't end up mattering for him at all because, Water be on that stuff.
Now Water is going to spawn in the crater. Let's see if Globochem can find this northern approach. Mike should have seen one. Yep, called the spawn. This is going to be really hard for Water to get out of now with the sniper trained in on their position. The early callouts are the worst in this game, or in this map specifically.
Yeah, when you're stuck, especially in that corner, it's rough because some defenses, they'll push, they'll close you in, they'll keep you from getting out of that corner, and then you're really, really having a tough time.
I mean, the callouts are accurate. Mike put 2 behind Hotel, so they definitely know that those guys are there. They haven't seen them leave across the South Street. Now Water is waiting for that push. It looks like they're holding these angles, but I mean, anywhere that they go, if Adon goes around the north of this building here, he's going to just walk himself into a firing line. He finds Zucchini from Burning Center. It took me a second to figure out where the shots came from. I was like, who shot this guy? Smoke's coming out from Lich King and Kidra. They're going to try and cross the street. I think Mike's going to have something to say about that. As soon as they cross out of the smoke, he's got that laser trained on him. There they go.
Oh, man, they chose the longest path through the open they could, too. And there goes Kija. Mike going to take those shots. Now the Lich King is running back and forth in place, wondering what he should do. As Mike slowly zeroes in his scope here to eventually, there it is, take the kill onto the Lich King as well. And that'll be both of the North Hotel crossers dead. Thunder will find another one. Now it's all up to Adon here as he approaches the north rooftop. Well, rooftop.
He's looking for Mike. I'm pretty sure he heard him. But Thunder's got that corner covered. And if he rotates around to get the guy on the roof, he's going down.
Oh, and here he comes. Adon heard the shots. He knows he's still up there, but...
And now he knows he's all alone.
All by himself. Oh, man.
That was terrible. Please don't.
Yeah. I apologize. Normally it's better than that even. God.
Yeah, drop some biddies in chat so we can get sleepy voice lessons.
Also, S in the chat for everyone's ear.
Oh, it wasn't that loud.
No. The quality, though.
Oh, well that. I already apologized. What else do you want from me? You come
Adon
out to do
has
one cast. They just never let you hear the end of it, ladies and gentlemen.
Adon has one defender between him and the objective, and it's Otto. He finds him on the corner. Globochem take their first point on Quarantine with all 5 still standing on the defense.
This is
Not a scratch.
Yeah, this is the dangerous part of playing Globochem. They do give 1 or 2 rounds pretty consistently in maps, but that's really it. It's been, I suppose, more common this season where we see teams competing pretty good against them when it comes down to it, but if you let Globo start to run away with the map or a series, it's really hard to stop them. And right now, it's a big. This is Water being tested, right? They've lost for their map pick 4-1 on Tanker, and now they did get their first defensive round, so that confidence might have surged a little bit back up. To then get shut down and find not a single kill, tough to deal with emotionally as a squad. And so now they got to keep winning these defensive rounds. That's their path to success. Is just stay consistent on your defensive wins, and they'll get this map 2 and take it to a map 3. That's not an easy task against Globochem, though.
You are absolutely right, NightFiree. It is not an easy task. It is not gonna be. I mean, it's just Globochem. Like, even when they're on the ropes, NightFiree, and you and I have probably seen this more times than anybody, other than maybe Buxton, Rest, and Pips. You know, Globochem can be put on the game point, on the map point, series point even, we've seen in some cases, and be down in a 3-0 in a map and actually fight their way back and come back for a win to win the whole damn thing. So you can never count Globochem out even when they've gone down rounds, but Water is showing that they are definitely worthy of contention with Globochem, as even though some of the score lines haven't been as close, you know, the rounds themselves have been quite entertaining overall. So great play out of them so far.
Globochem spawning in the crater. No one in Water looking for those early peaks to try and find the spawn. Oh, just kidding. TJ called it. Lich taking a shot. One single shot from the AK goes out.
One bullet.
Sounds like Water is discussing their adjustment for this crater spawn, and it doesn't look like they're really going to move. Kija now opting to push up. Watching the west approach now from the airplane wing. It's going to have to deal with 1, 2, maybe 3 members of Globochem coming on the north side mix. The first one coming on the west approach. At the wireframe now, making sure that's clear.
Man, Globochem has managed to secure a lot of real estate fairly quickly here, considering, yeah, Water definitely not opting to really push out on that north side and take the risk at, you know, at fighting Globochem kind of head on earlier on in the round, and it didn't work for them. It did work for them. It still sounds like I'm saying did not. It did. D-I-D. It did work for them in the previous round. But we'll see if it's going to work here. Kind of like their attack rounds, I wonder if maybe they could benefit with being a little bit more aggressive and hoping to get a few more earlier round picks to help them come late round when the attack comes or when they go to attack. But that's yet to be seen. So far, all 5 on each squad still up, so really just running my mouth. But ouch! Mike Crook from the rooftop knocks the head right off of the Lich King over in the Volt wireframe towers.
The back one.
And that'll be the first pick for Globochem as they start to make their pick away at the Water defense.
Is that mixed?
Yeah, Mix is pushed up to the Sarlacc pit on Impact Building. He's looking for anybody peeking that center burning stairs, but he's not seeing anybody. If he makes these callouts, he's pretty quiet, but if he makes them any louder, Kija may hear him. And Kija's still waiting over on the west approach for anyone to come up. He's at a pretty uncommon position. He's behind the Hesco there. And now silence on the battlefield. Otto is pushing up. Don't forget about him in the South Dunes. Or from the South Dunes. He was there. Now he's approaching Ambulance. And Globochem's got a pretty good circle happening on this objective. I mean, if you look at the overhead now, they've got their one sniper up there behind the north, and then one on the roof, one at the Sarlacc pit, one in Tank Courtyard, and one at Ambulance.
It looks like smokes are going to come out for a push here on the south side. The brothers Globo Thunder will be placing a smoke here by the red car for him and Otto to get a look-see into the center burning. It looks like Otto might have spotted Adon over there in the west garage. No, just a passing glance there that looked like maybe there could be some action. But Zucchini going to be in his normal position there in the center burning building. That is his house. His. Mine.
Adon might have seen Otto there on his rotation away from the ambulance. It looked like his laser definitely crested Otto's body. Get a little caress there. Otto now crossing the South Street towards the north, gonna go towards burning with his brother. More smokes from Thunder Pilot in the center rubble.
Mix still fixated on the center burning as well. It looks like they really are looking to clear that first and foremost, but they need to get it done now because minute 41 left on the clock. They don't have a lot of room to work with, and they've still got some distance between a lot of their players and the objective. So if Otto and Thunder go down right here, things are going crazy, but it looks like the shots are going to be the signal that the rest of the team needs. As you can see, Globochem now moving in force on the western side. You've got Mike and Izzy now going to pop out. Will Sell My P will actually kill Kija, which will help Globo on the western front. Now Mike's looking down the street. He's looking for the kill onto Will. Not going to be able to see it just yet, but Izzy will take some shots out. Mike will be able to finish it off there on the west. The west now completely open. Globochem pushing in hard now as Mixologist is right outside the objective. The whole team is coming in with a minute to go. If Mix is smart, he'll take the smart play here. He'll just let it ease off, but no, it looks like Globochem is going to go ahead and take the kill. They take the Marsoc round, and they have now upset the balance of map number 2.
Looking dangerous for water right now. This is looking like Globochem showing off or doing what they do. I wonder what it is and how they... I think it's the 5-man wins. Whenever that happens, it's just a downward spiral for the enemy team. When Globochem pull that off, it's like the momentum is unstoppable, and they just start charging forward. They know what they're capable of against your squad, and that's bad news when Globo feel confident because you get rounds like that. 5 pushing in on the objective.
Yeah, the problem is with that as well, NightFiree, is not only does, you know, having a round where Globochem didn't lose anyone on defense that are kind of charging them up, but at the same time, on the opposite team, it's like deflating them, so Globochem's getting built up a little bit, and you know, they're a solid group of guys as it is, but they get that feeling, right, that they're really in a groove and really, you know, things are all clicking, and they're just going to push it even harder, and I think that's kind of what we saw here, and now we saw kind of the same thing, a full-on 5-man win from Globochem there on that objective. Now, granted, Will did help them a little bit in killing Kija, so there's a little bit of an asterisk on that round because I do feel that Kija would have at least been able to take down Mike Crook there just because of the close quarters proximity there, and I'm not sure if Mike rocks a canted sight or not. Using that 12x in such close quarters can be a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if he rocks a canted sight either. I feel like he does, because if not, that kill he got on the previous offensive round was even more impressive because he just whipped that sniper rifle up and unloaded into him. Now, Water gonna have the harder spawn if they're in the south now. What do you do? Do you opt to just go north and push across the road, or do you opt to hide like Globochem did last time, or do you just go south and come up? I mean,
try it.
there's, in my opinion, no good approaches.
Yeah, this objective in that spawn particular, I mean, it's almost as bad as that spawn for gas station, right? Like, you just have no outs. You can try and use up a good bit of utility to get yourself out, which appears to be exactly what Water's going to do. As we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smokes out from the side of Water as they try and just completely blot out the sun for Bart or Izzy, or you decide. And then there's smokes 6 and 7. Kija does manage to find Otto on the front side of the objective. Thunder Pilot's smart though. He's going to be able to. He's going to stay put a little bit because he doesn't want to get his head taken off here early on as well. Mix will find a return refrag onto Zucchini in the meantime.
Oh, there's a sniper on the roof now. Mike Crook taking shots at Lich King behind the wall. And he's kind of pinched at this ambulance objective. Thunder Pilot finally finds him from objective.
Ambulance, put your down.
The roof has a sniper. No.
It was better.
Okay. It didn't entail me singing, so I figured it might go off a little better.
Is he still in center burning? Having to peek a lot because I don't know if they have a good idea of where Water got to after all the smokes came out.
Looks like Mike has been seen by Adon. I'm sure Vivian will correct us with the proper pronunciation of their names later. He's been putting some shots over onto Mike Crook there on the rooftop. Mike had to take some cover, but now he's re-angled himself. He may be able to find some success again here after. Yeah, there comes the shots from Adon, and almost immediately Mike goes right back to the same angle he's looking at.
Mick's getting a little aggressive here on the south side. He pushed up from his car toward the gas station gazebo, and you can find Will right there.
Still on wing low.
Global callouts are accurate. One's still on the wing. Adon finds Izzy in the center burning. Now Mix is looking for him. If Adon peeks again, he's probably going to go down.
Is there any?
Mix and Thunder both watching that angle. Mix takes him down. Adon is cleared out. Southside is cleared out. Follow up to Kija in tank courtyard. Take some shots at the roof. Suppressing fire and moving. Reload. More shots.
Reload. Mike looks like he's going to be, yes, he is. No, he's just going to rotate a little bit on the roof. He's just taking a funny wraparound circular route to get there. Now it's all up to Kija. He's all by himself down there in the tank engine courtyard. And he's got Mixologist now coming up around behind him.
He's also on his last mag.
And he's not happy about it either. We need a bleep button. It's getting out of hand.
He's pistol only.
Sorry, buddy. Should have brought your shield, I guess. And with that, Thunder Pilot finds the kill on the Kija. Globochem secure their next bulk round and are 1 point away from being able to secure map number 2.
Oh, this is one of those games where Globo's KD spread is looking very even. Nick's doing well. Mike actually standing out with the sniper 6 and 1. Thunder Pilot 4 and 2. It's everyone performing well. To your point, Globo is just a squad that has overall, they have outstanding performers in every slot. And that's tough to do. Tough to acquire. It takes a lot of time to get a roster like that, and they've been around since season 1.
Yeah, and I mean that's why people would always get so salty when players like Arsenic and other guys left their teams. And at the time when Arsenic left Mob Squad was like the number 2 NA team. and they were kind of an up-and-coming newer team, kind of like we've seen with Blaze, and now we're seeing with Water. You know, and Globochem keep their eye on this sort of thing, and when these players either get frustrated and don't want to play with their teams anymore, or you know, they become free agents again for whatever reason that may be, Globochem notices these things, and they you know, they pick up on that stuff and will bring you in if they can. I mean, I remember at one point they were even looking to put together like a Globochem B team that was like a practice squad of an additional like 5 players. So they're, you know, they're always on the hunt for that top tier player that could help fill their ranks and even out the balance of something that they might need. So they lost Arsenic with the sniper. Well, they got Mike Crook, so not too much to worry about there, because he, as we have seen, is just a monster with that M93 UR.
Yeah, I know that you two don't play as much anymore, but from someone who's gone
Shots
up
fired.
against that sniper, my God.
Means nothing, Trip. Come back in and whoop up on you any day. Just ask,
Oh,
all right?
let's get some quarantine matches going. Quarantine during the quarantine. Will gonna cross the street south, gets taken out. Nope, gets shot by the sniper. It's gonna still continue his cross. More shots bringing out, not catching him. Will getting very lucky there. Keija in a very different defensive position here, just standing on the east side of glass, kind of waiting. What does he got in his hand? What do you have in your hand? Oh, you don't have anything in your hand.
See, NightFiree, that's where you know these young bucks don't have no knowledge of nothing. Keija's position is not new. Us veterans of the game who've been playing since earlier on, not Trip,
Arsenic
that
takes that
position's
position on
pretty-
the opposite side of the building.
well, Arsenic is a different person, and no, but it's a lot less commonly used. I will agree with you there, just simply because it's so exposed. I mean, you're just standing there out in the open, stuck in a corner. Like, if you happen to forget where you are and you know, push your joystick or your trackpad or whatever you happen to use the wrong way, you back yourself into a corner and trying to strafe, and then, well, that's easy. But
Yeah,
either
there's
way,
no-
it doesn't
there's
seem
nowhere to
Water's
rotate,
too
you know?
worried right now on the objective. Yeah, no, there's really, yeah, you're pretty much stuck there. You have to just fight it out.
You've got to really trust your team to cover your 2 angles.
Which, you know, I mean, usually isn't too difficult, but then you have guys like Globochem who come in and gotta screw everything up.
Everything was going to plan until Globochem showed up. Thunder is running his shield now
Nani?
and looking towards the South Hills.
He's looking south towards freedom.
So what is it with this? I've seen a whole bunch of shield players with the flashlight combo now. I don't understand the benefit. One, because the flashlight shows through a ton of objects in game, and you can easily call out the shield because you can see the flashlight.
I don't know. Maybe it's for checking some of these upcoming positions that they're about to cross, like the common Smoils defensive position of beginners, right there in that building with the plane engine in it. Which, by the way, the spread of this plane crash is absolutely insane.
I think my
It definitely got shot down. I mean, it was not a crash.
No, it's... I don't know. Whatever. Just being a saucy Sally right now. Thunder Pilot gonna be living in the world of smoke right now. His idol Snoop Dogg would be proud.
He's going to get shot in the side from Keija. His position actually working out pretty well. Confirmation happens. All of the stuff goes flying. Mags everywhere. Now Izzy looking for that refrag.
He's big rock, I'm not peeking it again.
Now Will is looking at him from that southwest building. They can't get too focused on one of these water defenders because the angles they have are pretty good. Zucchini finds Mike in the north at the money trucks.
Mix will find the backside to Kija. And now Izzy's going to have to still deal with Will over here, as he and Otto are going to try and still make things happen here in the south. And it seems like his team is somewhat locked things up in the north, but ooh, Mick's going to find the Lich King, and that'll help him out, give him some cover, but he's not going to be able to go back for Mike.
Give your balls a talk, tit fucker.
I wish your mom was doing it for me there, tit fucker.
Fucking embarrassing.
Smoke goes up in his Zucchini. We're getting some Letterkenny quotes coming out between Mix and Zucchini. Zucchini takes a shot from the South Hills. Mix is running for it now. He's making the cross.
Oh, he's got some stones on him. Zucchini's going to be firing it off. Mixologist returns fire, but he manages to escape. Now all he's got to do is sneak under the sights of Aiden, and he can get his way underneath and get the cap.
Yeah, Mix is danger close and not called out from Zucchini, but if he's just watching, he's waiting for someone to rotate out. Aiden's going around the right side. Mix doesn't hear him. Mix turns around. Aiden finds him in the backside. Izzy finds Zucchini and Will. Now it's all up to Aiden once again on objective.
I will.
Two members of Globochem up, Izzy and Otto.
Well, they still have Mike laying back there who's downed. He will be, bleeding out here fairly soon, but he's going to be able to provide at least some sort of information in case Aiden happens to push his way out. I am saying it Aiden because it's Aiden, whatever. Anyways, now Otto's pushing up to go for the cap. He's pushed his way inside. Aiden will find the kill. Now Izzy's outside. He's going to push in as well. Will he be able to find it? No. And like that, Globochem will run right into their own deaths. And Water will pick up a defensive round, keeping our score 3-2 here as we move on into what could be map 2 point. With Globochem going on Volk, so far playing it very strong on Volk.
Water
Did
just
Izzy
go ahead.
Did Izzy run out of ammo or something? It looked like he had a malfunction weapon at the end there.
No, I don't think so. I just didn't take the shots. It was, from the angle that I had, looked like he just saw him first. But yeah, it was a great defensive round from Water, just clinging on to the series. They needed that one, and to bounce back from Globochem, honestly running away with it and able to get that one more on the board. It is, a good sign that Water is, they deserve to be where they're at, or at least are proving that at times they can go up against Globochem, who is the top-ranked team currently in NA, so they're doing a good job of that. They do have quite the challenge ahead of them with the offensive round tucked in the back corner here. It's a challenge to get back to this objective, and against Globochem, it's not going to be easy. They're going to want to catch that south cross.
Will they have to also look out for their left hook?
Strong side.
You're no fun.
Well, Globo, normally when they make these defensive crosses, they use smoke.
They sure do, Drip. They sure do.
They're definitely prepped and ready. They don't want to get shot early. Did he just throw that without pulling it? I think he was placing it. So he can grab it as he runs. Thunder gonna make the south cross, it looks like, as well as what was that? The Lich on the far side, crossing into the south gas station area. Mike has taken up a position way back on the far east side with that sniper rifle. Gives him a view of a lot of the map. Not the best place to be if you're the last man standing, but that's not as likely to happen with, the rest of your team being Globochem.
Kija and Aiden have pushed their way up to the western side of the glass building here. And he's just already using his shield to his advantage to take a look inside that wireframe in the southeast. But so far, it doesn't look like there's any members of Globochem in there, so they're not going to find any enemies in there.
We're seeing those shields happen on those larger maps. Maybe it appears to be objective specific at this point.
It very well could be. The shield on his back could be, the shield could be for, if he goes in for a cap, he could go to protect his backside in case they manage to sneak in and not have to take down the south defenders, but a little...
Thunderpilot finding Lich King on the south wing, and Kija immediately calling an audible to go for a full north push, because once someone's in the dunes, you can't really fight it. A smart play by Water. Kija memorizing that code now. Are we gonna see a Water cap again, or at least an attempt at a cap again?
Yeah, we'll see. He's definitely studying it. I feel like studying it this much, he's gonna end up forgetting it when it comes to going to press it. And then maybe that's why he didn't get the caps earlier in the game. Well, yeah, we will see. Globochem hasn't lost anyone yet, and that's kind of something we talked about. Water is down one as well earlier in the round. Is Water doesn't seem to focus or almost even care about the early round picks. They almost seem to just kind of want to get into position to go for the final strike and avoid contact if they can, rather than try and find any sort of early picks and gain any type of early round advantage. Obviously, they're not going to, turn away from a fight if they run into one, but they're not really going at it per se.
If you smoke the center courtyard between glass and east objective, do you think you can just rush it? I mean, then you only have to deal with two, right? You could just ignore the north, ignore the south, and just run into the objective building firing with smoke coverage.
You could. It's definitely possible. We've seen caps happen where they basically just wedge their way in from the middle. I believe Danglers did one where they basically just rushed down that main south street, all 5 across the street, and managed to just wedge right in the middle and take it that way. But I mean, that's a rare case, obviously, but it's definitely possible. I mean, anything's possible if you think about it.
Anything's possible if you believe. Kija is just sitting here reading off codes like Rain Man. He has not moved.
No, I've been sitting here just listening to him. That's why I've been taking those pauses when I'm describing something, because he keeps distracting me with his numbers, because he keeps changing how he's saying it too.
He's gonna forget where it starts and stops, and he's gonna start like midway through the code.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think it's just gonna end up clouding his numbers when it comes to the objective. I used to just, because I believe it was, I can't remember where this was, but I believe I read somewhere that something like that, you're best off repeating like 3 times and that's it. 3 times correctly and that's it. And that should be enough to get it to stick, because something like this, you've repeated it so many times, you get on the objective, the pressure's on. Just like that, Mixologist finds one, and there's the flash. Kija probably still able to see, as he does have that shield. He's going to push to the other side of the wall now. He will be subject to fire from Auto, but looks like he's already predicting that.
Kija's going for the sprint. He's zigging, he's zagging. He's coming around the corner.
Auto's called it out.
Izzy finds him, takes the shield. Mike Crook pinned and Zucchini behind the hotel.
Was a nice grenade attempt there. Just falls short of missing Mixologist with the bounce. But yeah, so far things working out for Globochem quite well. They still haven't lost a single one. Mixologist picks up Will. Zucchini now will find Mike in the back. So Globochem don't get to go perfectly, but they do pull off the round with that kill by Thunderpilot, and that closes off the series. Water will now play the last map to stop the MMR gap.
And it looks like they know exactly where they want to go right away. The map 3 choice coming in real hot. Cargo, map 3.
High action!
I love a good cargo round.
Yeah, usually definitely lend to some good fights. We usually see some yeah, and I'm excited to see what happens here. But again, you know, Globochem has managed to secure both maps at this point, so the series has been locked in their favor. They do take the win on the series, but Water will have some chance here to get some points on the board on their map choice, which fortunately they did lose their first map choice, but this will give them a chance to kind of ease the loss of MMR against the mighty Globochem.
It's a big gap right now, and Globochem, they look as strong as ever. You know, it just, I feel like what happens, you know, every 3-4 weeks, one team sort of shoots up the ladder and bumps into Globochem, and then gets like a rude awakening as to what the top 5 looks like and how they play. And you know, Water hat, like we've said earlier in our pre-show, they've had a couple of good matches. They've played some very skilled teams like Danglers and Animal House and even the Five Horsemen and done great against them, but they haven't faced off against an SMC or a G-Man or a Globochem or a squad that is consistently in the top 5 and has remained there throughout the course of this season. That's the real test. And you know, as we get into Tanker, this could be an incredibly quick Globochem map 3, or you know, they can hunker down and try and give Globo a run for their money, and like you guys said, dampen that MMR blow.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. You know, we can almost guarantee the shield play from Kija here, right? This is probably exactly why they've picked into it. But you know, Globochem are no slouches on cargo either, so picking into it with such bravado, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. Who cares, right? Like, if you feel confident on it, who cares if the other team's strong on it as well? I mean, at this point, the series has already been lost, but you're really just going for points, and it's not going to hurt you to take even a 4-0 loss here, because you are the lower ranked team, so you're not going to get as big of a hit as if, say, Globochem were to have lost here.
Oh, you bust early, Mix. That was 2 seconds early. Oh, I bust you early.
All right, lots of smokes coming out. Defensive and offensive. Mix places one. All those smokes coming out, and Water not actually pushing up. Zucchini finds Izzy. Mix finds Zucchini. Key just coming up on Mike. Mike throws a Molotov, catches him.
Ooh, wow. Great play there. Kija goes down, and now he should be burned out. Yes, he is. Adon finds Mike inside. And then he finds Mix after Mike finds one himself. Lich King finds Thunderpilot, and now Water have got the advantage. It's Otto all by himself here.
Otto drops his tablet. That's not needed anymore. He's going to go for the kills now. And he's getting flanked from behind. Lich King behind him with the shield. Otto not looking. Lich King sees him, drops the shield. No, he heard that. Otto rotates away. Wow. Put some shots out. Aiden put some shots on him.
Otto's going to find his first. He's still got 2 more, but the only problem is he's got to make sure he doesn't get too distracted from the objective. Now here comes Willcell on the backside. The flash comes over, and Otto will find the Lich King, but now the objective's open. He's turned around. He's going to be able to find Will there on the corner, but no, Will finds the kill first, and Water managed to secure their Marsoc round here, but an excellent attempt there from Otto to save the Globochem round.
I mean, he tried to do it again. He tried to find that 1v3. He nearly did, and I think he went to go turn for that last shot, and I think I heard a click, so I want to say he ran out of ammo throughout all of that commotion and all the shots he was taking and loaded in an empty one.
Yeah, he did let out some type of exclamation afterwards, so I think it was something about maybe possibly needing to have reloaded. It's crazy. For a second, I thought he was running his trusty like LMG that he likes to run on defense with the AKM, because it even sounded like it had that big chunky thunk to it. But I looked down and he was actually using an AK. And I was like, oh, interesting. So maybe he was used to using that LMG and he thought he had more rounds in his magazine than what he did.
What the fuck? Can we reset?
Wait, we might actually get in trouble for this? Is that possible? Are we gonna
No.
I tried grabbing my gun and shooting.
imagine they
Early C4 does go off. Zucchini putting Free Fire down the pipe lane. Thunder and Lich trade in 3. Zucchini gets to confirm on that. Now he's pushing up onto the south side of 3. Pushing in. Looking for Otto. Finds Otto. Continues his push. Zucchini on the backside now with his defensive aggression. He gets shot by a teammate, but he takes down Mike. He gets his needle out. Izzy takes down Izzy. Zucchini's on a tear. He's got 4 out now. That's all up to Mix now. Mix is going around behind him. He knows his whole team's dead, and they had to come from behind. Mix is pinched. Aiden and Mix trade, and Water take a point.
Their second in a row, and a very fast one at that. You know, this is what they needed. If they can keep this momentum and just sort of roll over Globo very quickly, get these next 2 rounds real quick, they might be able to sort of shock and awe Globochem, a bit of a blitzkrieg strategy, if you will. Come at them so quick and win rounds so fast, you don't really give them a chance to reset and bounce back and sort of readjust like they do and come back. We'll see if it can work. It's certainly not an easy thing to do up against a Globochem team, because as we've said before, they handle adversity so well.
Yeah, they're definitely not. They don't get knocked down when it comes to just falling behind in points. So it wouldn't surprise me to still see Globochem somehow manage to squeak back out ahead in this map. But I mean, that last round was great. A little bit of unnecessariness in the spawn from one of the teams, in my opinion, but I'm not going to go into that. But overall, I mean, Zucchini had an excellent round there, and Water just cleaning up house against that Globochem offense really quickly. So far they've been really playing out the map quite well. We'll have to see exactly what happens, but again, like we said, Globochem not afraid of being against the ropes like this and being down a few points.
So what you're saying is they get knocked down, but they get up again. Lots more smokes rolling out. The aggression from Water happening. Otto gets Zucchini and starts pushing on the north, I don't know what side that is, right side of the map from the defense. Take some shots at Will, definitely saw him. Will now gonna rotate around.
Mix will find the pick onto Aiden right there next to Kija, thinking they were slick with the whole peek. Now he's just pressuring Kija as he sits there. He's trying to pull his pistol out, but he's never ready. Kija goes to get up and turn around, and Mix going to find the backside. Now Globochem finding a clear advantage here on this round as they are 5 versus 1. And Lich King, the last member up, he finds Thunderpilot, does go for the confirmation. Yeah, I wouldn't go through that door, Lich King. It's not a good idea, buddy.
It's the quickest way to the objective.
Yes, it is, but also the quickest way to Mix's line of sight, which he has repeatedly refired every time you've peeked it, like the 4 times that you peeked it. So maybe don't take any more risk on it, is all I'm saying. Lich does find another pick onto Izzy. He's doing quite well here, cleaning up, but he's not going to be ready. He's pretty much locked in there unless he goes behind Otto. And even still, oh, Otto's early shots come out and give Lich King just the bit of advantage he needs to know he's there. Flash goes up, Otto pops around, Lich King's now looking through the tunnel, but they get the trade, and Globochem find their first point on Cargo.
Another fast and furious round right there. Water dumping smokes, charging in. They tried to keep the pace elevated and high, but Globochem landed some nice flashes. There was a huge flash on the shield and Overwatch rifleman there, which allowed Mix to peek and find himself with a free kill. Kija then felt trapped and tried to back off. He gets scooped up. A great job of preventing what would have been a pretty hard push, and they just knew that that's where they were gonna come through based off of the smoke density, right? Because not a lot of players charge straight up that middle lane after they've thoroughly smoked. They like to wrap around that right downpour ink green cargo crate and push into objective, and that's exactly what they flashed for. So a good move from Globo to prevent Water's push.
Thought you were taking my mag, brother. Negative. Nope.
Not a lot of smoke coming out from Globochem, but a lot of pre-fire. Zucchini makes it to green and goes down to auto. Kija putting shots through 3, not finding anybody. Izzy finds Will on 1. Lich King now peeking the corner. Thunder not finding him either. Mix and Thunder both seen. Mix not rotating out. Thunder does. Mix finds Lich King. Now shots from Aiden. Aiden finds Auto. Kija rushing up into the objective now. Ooh, that C4 went a little too far. Aiden and Mix come head to head. Kija finds Izzy. Mix finds Mike and Kija. A worthwhile kill, in my opinion. Gotta get that.
Mix finds everything standing in his way that he just found.
If it moves in front of your barrel, it's dead. That's how I play.
Yeah, he just
He didn't take any chance. He's like, ah! Teammates and everything.
some fantastic sound effects. Spot on, I think.
Basically just a living meme at this point, NightFiree.
I love it. But yeah, that was, I mean, that was
Takes me seriously.
Globo reversing the momentum, just kind of charging in. I mean, both these teams really just flinging themselves at each other right now on these cargo matchups. Series is already decided. Globo have already taken it, and it does seem like even when it does come down to that little MMR booster gain, it's not the main concern. The main concern is really to just charge.
Yeah, good old-fashioned showdown at the OK Corral.
Yeah, I don't know how that guy survived. It's gonna be right on, bro. It's kind of bold. Yeah. What do you guys say? C4 at that blue can fall.
Oh yeah, just don't go through there. Or if you have a frag, I mean, go crazy, go stupid.
Mix in a very advanced position here for the defense, just watching through that door.
One barrel.
I hear a Molotov somewhere, and I'm super excited for it. Oh, it just goes into the middle. But he's definitely denying that approach, though, so that smoke will burn out before the Molotov goes out.
Most of their utility is going to burn out before they go for their final attack. I've been confused about that, this whole map. They throw all these smokes so early, but then like they stop kind of like halfway up the map. And by the time they're actually ready to attack, they have almost no utility, and the objective is still far away. So I don't know. I've just always been confused about that. That grenade, though, is going to find nobody because Thunderpilot manages to turn away at just the right time. Izzy's in trouble, but he's going to get back up from Mike, and Kija will turn tail instead.
Two members of Water are in the yellow room now. Auto trades with Will. Lich King's pushing up. Thunder C4s himself. Zucchini downs Izzy.
Oh, this is cap. Oh my goodness, no. Mike happens to stop the Lich King, which does in turn turn the survival instinct of Zucchini on, and he takes down Thunder for the win. And Water, instead of getting the cap that they were on track for, will just get the round win and go up 3-2 here on the map.
Unfortunate self C4, and I know what happened. He also had a Molotov on his chest, and he went for it, and he grabbed the clacker, and on index, it's just you squeeze it, and it goes off.
Rip. And this round is already starting. They did not, I guess, care.
Certainly a loosey-goosey feel out there on both squads, going their competitive cargo rounds.
In the words of our co-caster Noman, no strats, best strats. Mix and the Lich King trade. Zucchini pushes up to barrels.
And the rotation already coming out for the res from Globochem. That's one thing that the Globochem team does religiously very well, and that is go for those reses whenever they are strategically possible. Otto will find Will Cell as he pushes up. Now the team is advancing quite cleanly, very uninterrupted. They're working well with their duos here, running kind of more of a 2-2-1 split here across the board. And overall, they've been met with a few challenges and been able to kind of overcome them with a little bit of teamwork.
Yeah, it's a 5-on-3. Globochem having the advantage. 5-on-2. Mix down Zucchini at the barrels. But the C4 sets him off.
And another piece of C4. So now they've lost 2, which I guess is technically the point. They wanted to secure that entire area with C4 in case there were other people trying to split off the other way. Zucchini is going to be a talking radio tower for the moment, unless one of the members of Water goes for him. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's a big risk. And here comes the grenade from Mike Crook. No, it's a flash.
Keija and Auto trade. Mike pushing up with their shield now.
And Globochem showing Water exactly how it feels for it to happen to them as they come back with a fierce Marsoc round of their own to tie things up 3-3.
I wonder what the fastest cargo set is that we have in the books.
I'm sure it's going to go
under
to
20
laser
seconds.
anglers.
No,
It's
No.
gotta go to
set.
No,
Oh.
I've seen
He's
it.
talking about map. He's talking about a map trip.
Oh.
Calm your tatas, okay?
Calm your
I'm
third
still
nipple.
I'm still
It's
I'm still
definitely
sticking to
SMC
the plays.
4-0ing somebody, duh, obviously.
Okay, let's put your ego back in your pocket there, Trip. I'm pretty sure it is either Blaze or Anglers that have that title of going through one of those maps really quick. Who knows? That's a lot of VOD footage, and there's even matches that aren't documented with VODs. So it'd really be hard to actually confirm that, but we can argue about it all we want.
But it's obviously SMC. Anyway, smoke's coming out from the Water team once again, and they just kind of throw him everywhere. I'm not sure if they plan and or if they're just trying to get him there to, and hope for the best. Zucchini's just running up. He's going straight to the middle. Into the smoke. Going towards Otto. Finds Otto. Into the red container. He's behind red container. He takes down one. Keija's in there with the shield. Thunder's rushing him. He can't get it out. Thunder takes down Keija. Mike takes down Lich King. And now there's only 2.5 members of Water up and 3 members of Globochem up. Now it's a 3-on-3. Thunder has the shield. He's pushing defensively. Does not make a good cross. Aiden finds him.
Thunder, Thunder's like just became Thor. Decided to just charge out and
Shield
Oh,
makes him
Valhalla!
invincible, obviously.
obviously.
Mix has not moved from his position. He is holding his angle like a good Globochem.
Mix will
Mix.
find one, but that's going to turn Aiden's attention to him. They're going to know where he is, but Izzy will find the Lich King. That'll confirm them. Now it's a 1v2, and things are looking better for Globochem, but Aiden not out of the fight yet. He's got plenty of time to work with, that's for sure. 4.5 minutes left. He's definitely got a bead on where Mix is. If he's got any sort of utility, he should be able to chuck her on in there, or maybe he can bait Mix out to come take the peek. Oh, I think Mix might do it organically. Nah, Mix is a good boy. He's a good boy. He's not going to peek. He's going to hold his line and wait for Aiden to come across it. But here comes Aiden, and he comes out like a striking panther, grabbing Mixologist and putting it to a 1v1 here with 4 minutes left. Last round of the series, last round of the game. What's going to happen?
I know someone's going to shoot somebody, and someone's going to win.
Oh, dang, son.
That's some premonition right there. I'm like the precogs from Minority Report right now. Aiden, very, very concerned about the green barrels in the northwest corner.
Tis a common position for a defender to be, and I have quite the feeling that the kill count for Aiden is going to be off. So he's probably going to be thinking there's more than one person. He's got no idea where that person is. So it's a tricky situation, but you know, Izzy's got his work cut out for him too. I don't know if their kill count's going to be accurate either. Because as you can see, Izzy's just like, he's looking both ways before crossing the street.
Aiden's going to come around the corner now, but Izzy sees him first, and Globochem take map number 3.
You know, the overall series didn't take out quite how I was expecting. I was anticipating a bit more rounds on Water's side. Granted, it did start to get more and more as they progressed through the maps. You know, and they did.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and they did honestly do well against Globochem. You know, when you think about where Globochem is and how long they've been there for Water to come up and provide a decent challenge throughout the series, certainly something to take away as a positive for the Water team. But I mean, Globo being Globo today, doing great, winning all 3 maps, and you know, getting that momentum and then keeping it. Just it's hard to prevent that from running away from you when that engine starts to run.
Oh yeah, I mean they just did nothing but pick up momentum, and even as Water tried to shift that momentum, especially here in the last map with just all-out kamikaze runs, you might call it. Globochem matched pace, and they were just like, yeah, you wanna shift into 5th gear now? All right, well, guess what? Our car comes with a 6th gear,
Yeah.
and then they you know, once they got, you know, those 2 and O's on the board, they were like, we're not getting goose egged. They came back, tied it up. We had a few slugs thrown there in the last couple of rounds there, a couple of knockout punches thrown, but it was Globochem that ultimately still managed to take it. So yeah, I think they're just a machine. But again, like you said, Knight, excuse me, of course I have the hiccups at the most crucial point at the end of our cast. Water did a fantastic job here in a team that is newer, though some of its players are more seasoned. You know, they did a fantastic job in keeping pace with Globochem, or even making Globo adapt to their pace, so you can't knock them for that. But it was an excellent game overall, though I agree that I do think I was expecting more round wins out of Water.
Trip, your final thoughts before we sign off on the night.
I think Sleepy covered a lot of it. I was definitely expecting a lot more rounds coming out from the Water side. But yeah, Globo, you know, doesn't let any of those rounds, they never stop, right? The previous round doesn't affect the next round, and that's what we see in these top tier teams. They don't get tilted. They don't give up. They could be, like Sleepy said, they could be down 3-0, and they're still not going to give up. They're going to come back, and they're going to try and take that map as hard as they can.
I think that's going to be it for us here at the desk. We appreciate you, everyone, for tuning in. Big crowd tonight for the high-octane, highly anticipated Water versus Globochem match. We appreciate you stopping in. If you are new, hit that follow button. Don't be afraid to use your Twitch Prime. It is available. Support goes back to us casters so we can keep putting on this fantastic show for all of the VRML. It is always appreciated. Also, a shout-out to our sponsors, Pro2VR and VR Cover. We appreciate them giving us their support for our champions. And last but not least, if you are not aware, Valve VR esports tournament for Pistol Whip will be going on next weekend. We'll be tweeting out exactly where and when on the VRML Twitter, so be sure to check in there. But Sleepy, I'm sure you can give us a little more detail on that.
Yeah, so it's a grand finals event. It'll be the top 3 Pistol Whip players from our home event that happened 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Considering this is, or no, it was last week. Last week, yeah, sorry. my days are all mixed up. But anyway, so the top 3 players will be coming out, or will be coming out virtually, as we all know the things that are going on around the world right now, unfortunately. So they'll be coming out virtually to do a mixed reality broadcast live event, similar to what you would have at a LAN event. You know, they're going to be competing for some cash prizes, as well as some cool stuff from iBuyPower and WD Black, as well as some cool swag from Cloudhead Games, the makers of Pistol Whip, and some cash in a Rift S. So be sure and tune into that. You can follow at VALVR_esports for the mainline news, or you can, of course, watch the VR Master League for the retweets and all the tweets from them about it. But that'll be next Sunday at about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time starting, and we'll probably go for a few hours, so make sure you come on by and tune in. We'll also be doing some donations, which will be going forth to a good cause. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that stuff. We do hope you guys stop by at least on the stream next weekend. And yeah, it'll be great. So thank you, NightFiree, for shouting that out. I appreciate that. And I hope everyone here has a great night, is staying safe. And we'll see you next time.